Okay, here's another demo that I think will hopefully illustrate making decisions in a program. Okay, so now this demonstration uses TVSet objects. And the TVSet object is going to have several properties, and also it will be able to be drawn on the screen, so we can sort of see what the TVSet is like. Okay, so imagine that I have a program here, and I'm going to, this is my main program, and I've declared three TV set objects, the living room TV, garage TV, and the kitchen TV. Okay, so those three TV sets. Then in my MU panel, I'm going to instantiate the objects. So I'm going to say the living room TV is a new TV set with these properties. Now the first two properties are where the TV set's going to be drawn on the screen. That's like the over and down. And then the Boolean is whether or not the TV is on when they start the program. Then the next number is the channel it's tuned to. And then the last number is the volume setting. It's a number between 0 and 100. Okay. So the first TV set is on, the living room TV is on, it's tuned to channel 3 at 50% volume. Okay. The garage TV is off to begin with, but when I turn it on, it'll be on channel 19 at 75% volume. And the kitchen TV is on to channel 43 at 20% volume. And then I ask the TVs to draw themselves, okay, in the paint component method. Now, the TVSet class, notice there's 5 properties. The constructor accepts these 5 values in that order, stores them in the property, right? Same thing as a constructor would do. And I have setters. I don't have setter for over and down. I'm not going to be moving the TVs once they're placed, but I could have set volume, set channel, and set turned on. So like set volume, well, set channel would be like on a remote control. If I was watching channel 3 and I wanted to watch, I don't know, channel 8, I don't have to keep hitting channel up. I would just hit 8. So I could set the channel directly. But then, oh, and then I have getters here. But then also, what are some of the other operations that I could perform with a remote control? Well, there is a channel up button, right? So what channel up does is whatever channel you're watching, it increases the channel number by 1. So I can do this kind of thing where I can say channel plus 1 is the right-hand side. So the new, like say I was watching channel 19, that makes it 20, and so the new value of channel is 20. Okay. Channel down, similarly, I take whatever the channel number is and subtract 1 from it. Okay. Now for volume up and volume down, I could do the same thing, or I can use this notation. If you want to add 1 to a numeric value, you can simply say plus plus. So volume plus plus means add 1 to whatever the contents of volume is. So that's the same thing as saying volume equals volume plus 1. And then for volume down, I could say volume equals volume minus 1, or I can use this other notation, which is volume minus minus. Now, to turn off the TV set, a lot of times we have a power button, and so what that would do to turn on or off the TV, if you press the button when the power's on, it'll turn it off. If you press the button when the power's off, it'll turn it on. So by pressing the power button, if the TV was not on, if the status is false, then set it to true. Okay, and it's very important to notice the difference here. In the test, I have 2 equal signs. Okay, whereas in the assignment, the actual action is a single assignment, or a single equal sign, which means assign the value on the right to the variable on the left. Okay, I think, is it going to give me an error if I only have 1 here? No, that actually, you need to have 2. Okay, and then actually in the draw method here, what I have is I have an if statement. Okay, so first I'm going to set the color to black and fill a rectangle. That's going to be the size of the screen. And if the TV's turned on, then I'm going to draw a white rectangle and draw a scene inside there. It's a man and his dog. And I'll draw the channel number and the volume bar across the bottom of the screen. But if the TV's off, I won't do any of that. It'll just be a black rectangle. Notice I don't have an else there in my draw method. Okay, so that's the TVSet class, but I want to show now there's features of this that I'm not going to show you yet. We're not ready for that. But if I run the program, what I've added to this program are buttons. So this is the two major concepts at this part of the semester are going to be if statements, decision making with if statements, and then this interactive programming by adding user interface elements to our programs. And so we can have these buttons that we can click. So like on a remote, this button will raise the channel number. So notice channel 3, if I hit this, it's channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, and the same shows on every channel. It's a man and his dog. Okay, so we can go up by channel up or channel down. The volume up increases the volume bar across the right, and volume down moves it to the left. Okay, and I could turn the power off, or I could turn the power on. Okay, so each of these buttons works, and we're going to learn how to do these buttons later. Right now, I'm doing this for I really want to illustrate the way the if statements work. Okay, so let me turn this power on again here, and let's go down. Now, when you are working with a TV set, you have experience with TV sets, I'm assuming. Typically, there is a lowest channel number, and then if you're on the lowest channel number and you try to go channel down, it wraps around to the highest channel number. So let's say this is an older TV, and it only gets channels 2 through 125. Okay. Those are the legal channel numbers for this TV set. But right now, if I keep hitting channel down, I go to channel 3, and then channel 2, then channel 1, channel 0, negative channel numbers. Okay. Now, why does it keep going into negative numbers? Well, it's the way I wrote the channel down method. So notice, channel down, this is in the TV set class, channel down, every time I would activate that method, it takes whatever the channel number is and subtracts 1. Okay? Well, I don't always want to do that. That's what I would want to do if I'm not looking at the lowest numbered channel, right? Channel 2. But if I am looking at channel 2, then I don't want to subtract 1. I want to change the channel I want to wrap around to the highest possible channel number. Okay? So for this channel down, I only want to do this operation if channel is greater than 2, right? Then I put in my curly brace. I'm going to indent this for good readability. Put the closing curly. So if the channel if you hit channel down, and if the channel setting is greater than 2, then it's okay to subtract 1. But if the channel is not greater than 2, that means I am watching channel 2, and so what should be the new channel number? It should be 125. Okay, so I want to wrap around. So if channel is not greater than 2, I don't do the subtraction, I set it to 125. Okay, let's run the program here. And now, channel 3, channel 2, channel 125, 124, 123. So that wraparound was nice, right? I could start here with channel 19 and keep going down to channel 3, 2, and I wrap around to 125. But if I try to go back up, 125, if that's the biggest channel I have, well, it keeps going to 126, 120, it'd be all static, right? Because it wouldn't get that. So also when I hit channel up, I don't always want to add 1 to my channel number. For channel up, I'd want to do something similar to what I did here for channel down. If channel is less than the highest possible channel number, I can add 1. But if not, then what do I want to do? I want to set it so if I'm watching 125 and I hit channel up, I want to wrap around to the lowest possible number. So the new channel number is 2. Okay. So now wrap around. Okay, so I'm here at 119. Now 119, 120, 121, 122, 3, 4. Okay, 125, and then I hit channel up again, and it wraps around to 2. So now I get the nice wraparound. Okay. All right. Now let's say that I want to raise the volume up here. So when you do this, typically on a TV, when you're raising the volume, you have that volume bar, and it will. usually it goes from 0 to 100, right? 0% to 100%. What happens if you are already at 100% and you try to raise the volume some more? Okay, usually what happens is nothing, right? It won't do anything, but watch what happens on my TV. The red bar keeps going across and it knocks the vase off the table and breaks on the floor. Okay, we don't want the volume bar to keep going beyond the side of the TV set, right? Well, why did it do that? Once again, every time I try to do volume up, it does exactly the same thing. It always adds 1 to the volume setting. But we don't always want to do that. We only want to do that if we're not already at the maximum volume setting. Okay, so let's go in here now for volume up. See, volume up, we always add 1 to the volume. Well, if it's already at 100, we don't want to do that. So let's say only if volume is less than 100 would we want to add 1 to the volume. And what do you want to do if the volume is 100 and the person presses volume up on the remote? What would happen on a normal TV? Nothing, right? It just ignores it. So in this case, this would be an example of where I don't have to have an else. Okay, I have an if statement, but I don't need an else. So if the volume is less than 100 and I hit volume up, it'll raise it. If the volume is already at 100 and I hit volume up, okay, 100 less than 100 is false, so I skip the if part. If I don't have an else, nothing happens. Okay. And yeah, let's use this one because it's closer to 100. So here I go up to the 100 here. If I keep pressing, and now it won't go up anymore. See how I keep pressing it, but it doesn't go up. And then if I hit down, it starts going down right away. Okay, so it never goes above 100. Now, what about for lowering the volume? Okay, well, if I lower the volume, let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm down here. That's probably 1. Okay, that's 1, I guess. There's 0. Now, I think on the drawing it's not going to make a change, but watch what happens to the property. So right now I'm at 0. So if I hit volume down, that would be -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay. So now it doesn't look any different, but internally the volume setting for this TV is -4. So now what would you expect to happen if you go all the way down to 0 and then go a couple more times, then try to raise the volume? You expect it to be at 0, right? So the first time you hit volume up, it should start increasing the volume. But internally this is -4, so if I hit volume up, it won't start coming up until I get back to 0. So even though I can lower it here, and I keep pressing this and it doesn't show up anything, but now it's going to take a while to come back because it went negative. So we similarly for volume down, we don't want to always subtract. We only want to do that if volume is greater than 0 is the only time that we want to decrease volume. If volume is 0, then don't decrease it. And now it's a subtle difference, but watch what happens here. Okay, so if I go down, and I can go down to 0, and then I can press this a lot. Okay, so in the old example, this would have been very negative. But now the first time I hit volume up, it goes back up to 1. So in other words, it was going down to 0, but it wasn't going negative because of that if statement. And now it goes back up to 1. Okay, so using if statements gives me a more realistic way of having the program act like a real-world TV set. Okay, so that's the main reason for that demo, was to show the if statements, and Lab 5 is going to give you experience with building an interface that has these buttons, and you'll see that in Lab 5, and then we'll do some other demos of that. So as I said, the two major concepts at this part of the course would be if statements, decision making, and interactive programming with these user interface elements. So good luck with that. Make sure you talk to your instructor if you have any questions. Bye.